Your dog can't say, I love you. They can't write it down or tell someone else, but they've been showing you every single day in ways most people never stop to decode. There's a question a lot of dog owners carry but rarely say out loud. Does my dog actually see me as family? Not just a provider, not just the person who fills the bowl, but family, in the way that word really means. The answer is already happening in your house, right now. Maybe it happened this morning before you even finished your coffee. This video is about 8 specific behaviors, not tricks, not training results. Behaviors that come from somewhere much deeper. And by the time we finish, you're going to look back at moments you've lived 100 times and finally understand what they actually meant. Here's the short version first, because you deserve a real answer before the details. Yes, your dog almost certainly does see you as family, not metaphorically, not just because it's a comforting thought. The science behind how dogs form attachments, the actual neuroscience, the behavioral research, keeps pointing to the same thing. Dogs bond with their primary humans in a way that closely mirrors how children bond with parents. Same hormonal loops, same attachment patterns, same emotional dependency. But here's what makes this more than just a warm feeling. The bond shows up in specific, observable behaviors, and most of them are things you've already seen and you just didn't know what you were looking at. That's what changes today. Think about the last time you got up from the couch to get a glass of water. Did your dog follow you to the kitchen? Did they wait outside the bathroom door? Did they just appear wherever you moved without being called? Most people chalk this up to clinginess or boredom or just something dogs do. But what it actually is proximity seeking. And in animal behavior, that distinction matters enormously. Clinginess is anxiety. Proximity seeking is attachment. One comes from fear. The other comes from a secure bond. A dog that follows you everywhere isn't panicking about being left alone. They're choosing actively to be where you are, because to them, that's where safe is. Researchers studying dog-human attachment have found that dogs consistently use their primary caregiver as what's called a secure base, a concept borrowed directly from human developmental psychology. The same way a toddler will run off to explore a park and then run back to check on their parent, your dog is doing a quieter version of that every time they pad into whatever room you're in. They're not checking on the room. They're checking on you. This one surprises people. You've had a hard day. You're sitting quietly, maybe crying, maybe just exhausted in a way that has no real explanation. And your dog walks in, not bouncing, not demanding attention. They walk in slowly, pick up a toy, or maybe just a random sock, and bring it to you. Why? The instinct to bring something when a member of their group is in distress is deeply embedded in domestic dogs. It's not trained. It doesn't come from a command. It's a behavior that surfaces specifically when they sense something is wrong with someone they're bonded to. What they're doing, in the clearest way they know how, is offering. That object is a gesture. It says, I noticed. I'm here. I brought you something because I didn't know what else to do. And that last part is the piece that hits hardest when you really sit with it. They don't have words. They can't ask what's wrong. They can't fix what's hurting you. So they do the only thing they can. They bring you something, and they stay. If you've ever had a dog do this, you already know it doesn't feel like an accident. That's because it isn't. Some dogs do this constantly. Some only do it in specific moments. But if your dog has ever pressed their full body weight against your leg, your side, your feet, and just held there, that's not simply comfort seeking. Leaning is one of the most direct ways a dog expresses trust. Not trained trust, not obedience. The kind of trust that says, I'm not guarding anything right now. I'm not watching for threats. I'm letting my weight rest against you because there is nowhere I feel safer than here. In dog behavior, calm and sustained body contact is entirely distinct from excited contact. The jumping and spinning when you come home. That's high arousal bonding. Leaning is something else. It's low arousal, fully relaxed, deliberate closeness. Some behaviorists describe it as the canine version of holding hands. There's no goal. There's no ask. It's just contact, because contact with you means everything is okay. Next time your dog leans into you, don't move. Just let it happen. You'll feel the weight of it differently when you know what it actually is. If you've been watching this and recognizing your own dog, in behaviors you've seen dozens of times but never had the language for, you're already more tuned in than most owners ever get. That kind of attention matters. And honestly, if this is landing for you, hitting like sends this to more people who have a dog at home that's been saying all of this without ever being heard. Dogs don't just respond to commands. They respond to you, your emotional state, your pace, your tension. And if you've ever noticed that your dog gets anxious when you're anxious, or quieter when you're sad, or more playful when you're in a good mood, that's not coincidence. It's called emotional contagion, and dogs experience it most intensely with the person they're most bonded to. They're not mimicking you on purpose. They're picking up on physiological signals, your heart rate, your breathing, subtle shifts in your posture, and adjusting their own internal state and response. What this means is that your dog isn't just in the same room as you. They're emotionally synchronized with you. Your calm becomes their calm. Your stress, they feel that too. This is part of what makes dogs such powerful emotional support animals. But there's another way to look at it, and it's worth sitting with. Your dog has been carrying pieces of your emotional life all along. Every hard week you've had, they absorbed some of it. Every time you came home lighter than usual, they felt that lift too. They've been with you, not just physically, but emotionally, through every season you've been through together. Most owners never see this because you're the one walking out. But what happens in the seconds after that door closes is one of the most honest things your dog ever does. Dogs bonded to their primary human don't move on the moment you leave. Studies using home cameras have captured dogs sitting or lying directly by the door, sometimes for minutes, sometimes much longer, oriented toward the last place they saw you. Not eating, not playing, just waiting. This is the mirror image of the reunion you do see. That explosion of joy when you walk back in. It's proportional to something. It's proportional to everything that was felt while you were gone. A dog that holds the space where you were isn't being dramatic. They're doing what any creature does when the most important anchor in their world temporarily disappears. They stay close to the last place you existed in that room, and they wait for you to fill it again. If you've ever caught this on a camera or had someone tell you about it, understand that what you're seeing is the clearest possible measure of what you mean to them. That door isn't just a door to them. It's the last place you were. And they're not leaving it until you come back through it. This one is easy to miss because it's so quiet. You're working at your desk, your dog is in another room, napping, completely settled, and then, for no apparent reason, they get up, walk over to you, look at you for a moment, and lie back down. Nearby. No tail wagging, no toy, no nudging for food. They just came, looked, and stayed. This behavior has a name in animal cognition: social monitoring. And it's one of the clearest signs of what researchers call a secure attachment bond. Your dog isn't bored. They aren't anxious. They are doing exactly what a young child does when they wander into the kitchen, just to confirm that a parent is still there. They don't need anything from you in that moment. They just need to know you're close. What makes this even more striking is when it happens during sleep. Your dog gives up a comfortable spot in another room, warmth, quiet, stillness, to move closer to wherever you are. That's not convenience, that's a choice. And dogs only make that choice for the person who makes the world feel safe to them. Your dog probably has a reaction when the mail carrier arrives, or when a neighbor comes to visit. Maybe some excitement, maybe some barking. But watch how that compares to the moment you walk through the door after being gone for a few hours. The difference isn't just intensity, it's biological. Research published in Science found that when dogs and their owners make eye contact, both experience a surge of oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds a mother to a newborn. This loop doesn't activate the same way with strangers or even with familiar people. It's specific to the person they're attached to. And when scientists applied the same separation test used to study infant-parent bonds, called the strange situation test, dogs responded in nearly identical ways. Distress when their person left, intense contact seeking and relief the moment they returned, not with other people in the room, only with the one. So that spinning, whining, full body shaking greeting at the door isn't dramatics. It's your dog's nervous system responding to the return of the one thing that makes them feel complete. The longer you were gone, the more the absence accumulated. And that reunion is the release of all of it. When your dog falls asleep, every layer of defense goes quiet. The alertness, the scanning, the readiness to react, all of it shuts down. Sleep is the most vulnerable state a dog can be in. And where they orient themselves in that state is not random. Dogs facing a threat will sleep facing the door. Dogs seeking protection will press against a wall. But a dog that consistently falls asleep facing you is doing something different entirely. They're pointing themselves in their most unguarded moment toward the one presence that registers in their brain as safety. Here's what makes this the most powerful behavior on this list. It asks nothing of you. Fear is loud. Reunions are loud. Bringing you a toy is loud. But this is silent. Your dog is asleep. They're not performing. They're not aware of what they're doing. And even in that state, their body still turns towards you. That's not training. That's not habit. That's a bond so deep it doesn't need them to be conscious to show it. Here's what ties all 8 of these together. And it's not what most people expect. None of this is about training. None of it is about food or reward or repetition. These behaviors come from a place your dog never consciously decided to go. They were drawn there, the way any living thing is drawn toward whatever makes the world feel less uncertain. Your dog didn't choose to follow you from room to room, didn't decide to feel your stress, didn't plan to wait by the door or turn toward you in their sleep. They were pulled there. And the thing that pulled them doesn't have a clean scientific name. It just gets called love because nothing else fits. You are not simply this dog's owner. You are their anchor, the thing that makes the rest of the world navigable. And they have been telling you that in 8 different languages every single day. Now here's what makes all of this land even harder. The behaviors we just covered, they're the ones most owners can see. But there's a layer underneath them, quieter, more subtle, that most people walk right past without ever registering it. We already covered exactly that in a previous video. 6 hidden signs your dog deeply admires you. Signs that happen before the leaning, before the following, before the door watching. The small, almost invisible signals that come first. And that mean just as much, maybe more, precisely because they're so easy to miss. That video is already up, and I think it's going to feel completely different now that you understand what's underneath all of it.